All right, I'm going to start by confessing something. I am an extremely aggressive driver. Like, legit bad. Like, hardcore. I'm a speed junkie. So if the speed limit is 65, I'm probably rocking an 80. I also am always in the fast lane, and I'm a bad person. Like, if the person in front of me is driving at a reasonable 70, I'm getting impatient. And then when they eventually move, which they will, I'll zoom by them, but not before I give them the, don't you have somewhere to be, man, look. It is and now, I'm in therapy, so I know this is not healthy. In fact, I know for a fact that it's not medically healthy for me because I was on a road trip with some friends in California. And you know how during the pandemic, we all bought those heart monitors that you put on your finger, it gives you a rating? My friend put that on me while I was driving. And apparently my heart rate was at 100. Now, for those of you who are not doctors, who have not Googled this 5 minutes ago, it's meant to be 78 or 80. So as it turns out, my heart is also above the speed limit. But in California, it was fine. There were a bunch of people like me. I fit right in. But plot twist, I just moved from California to Seattle. I live here now. And I used to always say that when you want to get to know a city, you should walk around it, go to that unknown coffee shop, look at the architecture, get the vibe of the city. I've added to that recently. You want to get to know the people of a city, drive around it. Since I got here, I've been driving everywhere, and I will tell you this, I've gotten to know a lot of you very well. And the other way around, which I'll apologize for. But I have to say this, my verdict is that the people of Seattle are so nice. I mean, no, seriously, why is everybody so adorable? I mean, my first night here, I'm zooming down the freeway at my California 80, and I realized a little too late that my exit's coming up, so I swerve right, and I obviously cut someone off, who immediately changes his lane and starts and pulls up next to me. So I'm assuming it's to flip me off, right? And I sort of give him that side eye, and he mouths the word, sorry. And I don't know what's going on, and I think he was apologizing to me because he thought he rushed me, and I'm going, what? And I did miss my exit, but I almost went to that green patch next to the exit, just going, what is happening? And then 3 days later, I'm driving on my way to work, and I'm going through this small neighborhood, so it's just one lane, and we're all going at a good pace, and then suddenly this woman just slams her brakes, so 5 of us stop back to back, and I'm like, oh shit, she hit someone, right? And she gets out of the car, and she's looking under the car, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm leaning out of the window to go, is there blood? Should I call 911, right? And what I see is there a family of ducks crossing the road. And she has not gotten out of her car to shoo them. She is taking a video going, aw. And I'm going, wait, and everybody around me is smiling, and I'm like, I am late for work. And then a few days later, I'm not allowed to drive because I'm with a friend who knows me very well. So he's driving, and we're going for dinner, and I'm looking at the street signs, and I'm like, hey, what is that? And he says, that's a deer. And I've never seen that before. So I'm like, what do you mean there's a deer sign? Why do you need that? And he goes, oh, this is the deer crossing, so you should go slow because if a deer's crossing, you could hit them. Now I'm a city rat. The last time I saw a deer, I was in a zoo. So I look at him, and I'm like, wait, so deers could cross the road in downtown Redmond? Aren't we in the city? And he goes, yeah. So you should just be very careful, Saloni, don't hit them. And I'm like, all right, enough with the condescending. I drove in San Francisco. I am trained to perfection to stop myself from hitting someone who jumps in front of my car. Because in San Francisco, that someone is on drugs, and if I hit him, he will sue me and take my house. So I know how to stop, and I know what to say that they will leave me alone. So I'm trying to be sarcastic and go, so, do deers also take $20 and leave you alone? And this guy's not picking up. He goes, no, not so much money, but maybe keep some carrots around. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I am lost and not understanding how these wonderful people will ever accept me. Until 2 days ago, I moved into a building, and they gave me a parking lot. right? And they've given me a corner spot where, like, my neighbor's car parks like this and my car parks like this, but the problem is I have a pillar next to my car. So when I back into my spot, I'm like, am I gonna hit him? Am I gonna hit the pillars? I get a little nervous. But I'm like, it's fine. And so the other day when I walked into the building and I'm driving in, they've started parking their car like this. So there's no way I can hit them and there's no way I can hit the pillar. I have not met these people. It's been a month of this, guys. And without meeting me or talking to me, all these drivers have taught me so much. They've taught me to slow down. That I'll get where I want, but I can enjoy the journey. They've taught me to protect myself and everybody else around me. Ducks, deers, people, everybody. And they've taught me to be kind and how awesome it feels to let someone else have a win and let someone else get ahead and slow down, even if no one's asking you, because maybe they need it more than you. I'm happy to report that without me knowing it, and all the time while I laughed at all these people, I've changed. And now my car and my heart are at a healthy rate of 60. And I have all these unknown people to thank for it. And today, because for the first time I'm thinking about this and I don't have my hands on a wheel, I'm going to send them all a big hug. Thank you for listening.